Hey everybody, it's Jonny Khatru, and in this video I'm going to be listening to the brand new album from King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Butterfly 3000. If you haven't yet heard of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, they're a psychedelic rock band from Australia, and they bring a hard and fast garage punk energy to the world of psychedelia. And they've gained a reputation for the sheer number of records they put out year after year. I got into King Gizzard around the same time as many people did, I think. Back in 2016 when they released their album Nonagon Infinity. I can't remember exactly what prompted me to check them out. I remember seeing the music video for Gamma Knife, and I remember hearing about the fact that the album infinitely loops, so when the album ends it starts right back again at the beginning, going on forever. And there was even a website set up that just played the album forever and ever. And the band followed that up by pledging to release 5 whole albums in 2017 alone, which the Mad Lads actually did. And even more surprisingly perhaps, I actually really enjoyed all 5 of them. I mean, I think the only one I didn't absolutely adore was maybe Murder of the Universe, which I know a lot of people really love, but it didn't entirely do it for me. I can't hear the music over the bloody robot voice talking about vomit. Ugh. The band has gone on to release 4 more albums since then, and I've really enjoyed all of them, especially the most recent KG and LW albums, which I actually think were quite underrated. Those albums, they do a great job of bringing together all the different styles that King Gizzard has experimented with on all their previous albums, I think. It brings everything together in a really cool way. And it makes for a really varied experience, which I love. I suppose for some maybe it seems too unfocused, I don't know, but I love them. So now, in true King Gizzard style, we have a brand new album from them just a few months after LW released. What is unusual in this case is that we haven't had any singles released, we haven't had any music videos, we've had nothing. So we're really all going into this new album blind. And actually that's quite refreshing these days, I think. So, time to listen to the album. I'm quite excited about it because, as I said, for me, King Gizzard have been at kind of a peak lately. So let's see what they've got for us this time. The first track is titled Yours. Alright, so that was the first track, Yours. And it was a great first track. I really enjoyed the more light, psychedelic, almost flowery kind of sound that it has. The falsetto vocals of the main melody kind of reminded me of 𝐜𝐸, which I realize is a comparison I recently made in my 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿 video as well. But it does have that sound. What can I say? And it's a great sound. I love it. And very suitable for this mood that they're setting up in this song. The rhythm, of course, is pure King Gizzard. And the kind of beat change at the end of the song there was a good bit of fun. On to track 2. It's called Shanghai. Alright, that flows into the next song. Okay, so Shanghai. At the start of the song, I was not too sure about the kind of stereotypical Oriental melody with lyrics about Shanghai on the top. It just seems a bit of an undercooked idea. I don't know, maybe that's just my first impression. Because anyway, as the song progressed, I did enjoy the chords. I liked the changes in the song. It started to appeal to me. And of course it had mellotron flute, which is always something that will help get a song on my good side. So yeah, there were things to enjoy in it, but I wasn't totally convinced by the idea that seemed to be around it. Anyway, straight into the next song. Track 3 is called Dreams. So Dreams, it had a similar kind of melody to the last song, but I think I preferred this one slightly. In general, it seems that King Gizzard are going for a more flowery, bright, summery sound than on some of their other albums. Although we have heard this sound a bit from them before on stuff like Gumboot Soup and especially Fishing for Fishies. And it's fine by me, I love those albums. Around the middle of Dreams, it sounded like it might go into something slightly stranger or darker, but then it just went back to the original mood. I do hope there are some kind of mood switches as we go on through the album. The next song, track 4, is called Blue Morpho. Here we go. All right, that was just the mood change I wanted. Plus, we got some awesome polyrhythms. I love the way it was using a similar synthesizer sound to the other tracks on the album so far, but with this whole new atmosphere. That's always great. And I loved the switch to a dance beat towards the end. They've been doing that kind of dance style a bit on their most recent albums, and I think it's brilliant. I love it when they do that sound. It really kicks the psychedelia onto a new level. For me, it just works great. So yeah, I loved that track. So let's see how they follow it up. The next song is called Interior People. All right, so Interior People. I do enjoy this kind of pop side of King Giz. I like it when they do that style with the soul-inflected vocals, and in this case, big piano chords. Sounds great. And there were some mood changes through this song that I enjoyed a lot as well. The main hook, I can remember it now, but I'm not sure it's the best melody, and I do feel that maybe that's where this album is not feeling as strong as the last couple for me so far. I don't know, maybe they just need to grow on me a bit more. Anyway, the next song is called Catching Smoke.
It cost me $25. Just a couple hours.
Cool. Okay, so this song did have that Shanghai kind of melody again on the synthesizer, but I think this was the best use of it yet. It sounded really good. I loved the way it moved through all these different changes, but then always returning to the chorus melody, which was very catchy. So I liked that a lot. And there were some really heavy moments as well, which appealed to me. So yeah, I thought that was a great one. The next song, going straight into that, is called 2.02 Killer Year. Okay, so that was a pretty unusual one. It obviously had more of that Shanghai kind of sound on the synthesizer. I feel maybe they're overusing it a bit, I have to say. But there was a lot of strange ways that it was being applied in this song, so that did make it kind of appeal to me. The structure of the song seemed very open. Maybe it wasn't entirely satisfying because it didn't feel tied down, but I think it's good that they have these more loose kind of tracks on the album, especially following on from the previous one, which was a much tighter, almost poppy song at times. So yeah, it's working for the album in that way. So the next song, track 8, is called Black Hot Soup. All right, nice. So that one was a rhythmically fun song. And with the acoustic guitars playing the riffs, it reminded me of Honey from the last album, which was a song I liked quite a bit. Maybe I do feel the album has become slightly predictable in the way that it had a lot of repetition and then the mood changed towards the end. But I have to say, it's still a formula that I think is working for me. It sounds really good. On to the next song, track 9. It's called Ya Love. Okay, so that was Your Love. And I don't know, it was a good fun song, but I suppose I don't know if it really brought anything new after all the tracks before it. Felt like more of a retread to ideas they've already covered. That's my feeling after first listen. Not a bad song, but didn't blow me away or anything. So that just leaves the last track, which is the title track, Butterfly 3000. Here we go. right. So that was a good ending. I liked that ending. It was an ending of unique sounds. So they started it off with the kind of krautrock jam, which, was sounding great, but it already had this quite unique texture to it that I thought worked really well. And then for the final ending, the texture changed again and it was full of all little bits of percussion. I'll look forward to hearing that one again. It felt like there was a lot packed in to a very small amount of time. But yeah, I did enjoy that last song. So in conclusion, once again, we have a new album from King Gizzard with its whole own identity, its own ideas and musical textures that you can only find here on this album. While I did enjoy this one, I don't feel it quite blew me away on first listen as some of their previous albums have. There were a lot of interesting sound and texture ideas that I did enjoy very much, but it remains to be seen how much the tunes themselves grow on me. There were a couple that stood out. Catching Smoke, for instance, was one that I did enjoy quite a bit, and Blue Morpho was a fun, sort of almost classic King Gizzard kind of song. But yeah, I do wonder if some of the melodies throughout the album might grow on me more, or if it's just a less catchy album from King Gizzard than some of their recent ones. Nevertheless, I'm always really happy to see a new King Gizzard album coming out. I always enjoy seeing what new ideas they're incorporating into their sound this time. And of course, from now, I'll be eagerly awaiting whatever ideas they've got for us next on their next album, which I'm sure won't be too far away. So I'm recording this clip a little later because unfortunately I lost the original clip I made. But it's just to say that if you've enjoyed the reaction and review, please consider using the link in the description to buy me a coffee. Any support you can give will really help me to keep making these videos, keep the channel going. And now the video will continue with a look at the ratings over on Rate Your Music and a few comments to see what people think of the album so far. So here we are on the Rate Your Music page for Butterfly 3000. The album literally just came out. I mean, it's not supposed to be coming out till tomorrow, but I was listening on Bandcamp where the band themselves uploaded it. So we've just got the album artwork, which is a classic psychedelic, trippy, kind of floral looking artwork. I think it suits the music very well. And the album only has about 100 ratings so far because it literally just came out. But it's got a 3.66 at the moment, which is not the highest rating, but not bad. Now if we scroll down to the track ratings, we can see that the standout tracks so far seem to be Yours, the opener, Interior People, Catching Smoke, which was probably my favorite, and the closing track. And yeah, probably my favorites so far were Catching Smoke and Butterfly 3000 from what I can remember. So I'm glad to see those ones are high rated. I'm quite surprised to see Blue Morpho quite low because I did like that one. But I'm not that surprised to see that Your Love is a lower rated track. I did think that one felt a little bit redundant on the album. So now let's go and take a look at some of the comments. So Ruth Janelle said, couple fun tracks, Catching Smoke is addictive, keep going back. And yeah, I thought Catching Smoke was the most immediately enjoyable song, that's for sure. But seeing you say couple fun tracks, that does make me wonder maybe you weren't enjoying the album as a whole, which I have to say I do understand from this first listen. Yeah, we will have to see how it grows, this one. Solaire1416 said, hey, can you play me a song from the new King Gizzard album? Ah, of course. Which one? The one that goes beep, boop, toot, 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 toot. Yeah, the album has a consistent sound. I guess that's the point you're making there. It definitely did. And that's something that can work in favor for an album. If it has a consistent sound, it gives the album its own strong character. But on the flip side, it can mean that certain songs end up feeling redundant, like I felt about Your Love, whereas other songs are going to be the standout ones. If you don't mix up the style too much, it's hard for all the songs to stand out in their own way. Sydney FT98 said, eliminated the need for Tame Impala. I mean, maybe. I get that they're working in a similar psychedelic pop area at this point, but I don't know if I would say it cancels the other one out. For the record, I'm not really a big fan of Tame Impala. I quite like them. They've got some good tunes, but I don't think it has to be one or the other. Anyway, Cyberdunk also said there is no further need for Tame Impala. Can someone comment down below to explain why this sentiment is coming up? I'm finding that a bit weird. 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥05 said, I'm gonna listen to this again later because I feel like I need to be high to truly enjoy this. Well, that's a sentiment you hear quite often with psychedelic music. And I know plenty of people will say, if the music's good enough, you shouldn't need to be high. And that's probably true. But that being said, in this case, maybe it is one of those albums where if you can just not analyze it, just get into the mood completely, maybe you will more fully enjoy it. So in that way, getting high might help, I suppose. Prospector said, so glad they decided to experiment again. And yeah, that's a sentiment I can get behind. Because although I did love the last couple albums, like I said at the beginning of my video, I did really like the way the last two albums really brought all their experiments together into something really strong. But after doing that, I think it is the right move to try some different styles, you know, reach out again into the unknown, see what they can find. And I do think they've done that in this case. Whether it actually resulted in another strong album, not sure yet, but in any case, I do think it was the right move to try something different. So I think that'll do for this video. Leave me a comment down below to let me know what you thought of this new King Gizzard album. Are you happy with the new change in sound for this album? Would you like to see them go further down this route, or would you like to see them try something different on the next album? Let me know. If you'd like to see more reactions and reviews like this one, don't forget to subscribe. And as I said earlier, if you enjoyed the video, you can use the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description to support the channel, keep it going. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take it easy.